Now let's talk about one of the most powerful things you can do with analytics, identifying your top performing products and spotting where customers drop off before buying. Because no matter how great your overall traffic or ad strategy is, if you do not know which products are actually converting and which ones are quietly losing people, you're making decisions in the dark. So let's start with the basics. In Google GA4, one of the most useful views is the one that shows you product performance. Here you can see how many views each product page is getting, how many people are adding that product to cart, how many are starting checkout, and how many are completing the purchase. So if you're using enhanced e-commerce with proper event tagging like view item, add to cart, begin checkout, and purchase, GA4 stitches it all together. And now you're not just looking at traffic, you're looking at behavior. So, for example, let's say your lavender body lotion gets 5,000 views a month, but only 20 purchases. Meanwhile, your Shea Butt Balm gets 1,200 views and makes 90 sales. So that's a massive difference in the conversion rate, right? So instead of asking how to get more views for the lavender lotion, the better question is what is it about the balm that makes people buy? Is it the product description, the reviews, the pricing, the images, or even just the name? So these are clues you can use to guide improvements for the other products. You might realize the balm has a short emotional product title and a photo showing someone using it, while the lotion just has a pack shot and a technical write-up. That kind of detail matter. So this is what we mean when we say let the data tell you what is working. You're not guessing here, you're noticing patterns. Now, another way to use this insight is to focus your marketing around your best converters. So, if three or four of your products have a much higher purchase rate, it makes sense to feature those more prominently on your homepage, in your ads, and even in your email campaigns. So, this does two things. First, it raises your overall store conversion rate by steering people to product that tends to sell well, and second, it gives your new visitors a faster sense of trust because they are seeing products that others clearly like. You can also look at product bundles. Maybe someone buys a face wash and then often adds a sunscreen. GA4 can help you track these product combinations by analyzing the sequence of purchases. So, if you find that certain SKUs are frequently bought together, you can create a bundle offer or use cross sell suggestions on the product page, like people who bought this also bought that. These are not just gimmicks, my friend. They are nudges based on real behavior. So, talking about nudges and drop offs, because this is the part that often gets ignored. Let's say someone views a product, adds it to the cart, then disappears. The question is, where exactly did they lose interest? GA4 allows you to build event funnels that shows the step-by-step journey for each product or even for a product category. So instead of guessing, you can see that for your organic hair oil, people are dropping off after clicking add to cart, but before checkout. That might mean the cart page is not clear, or maybe they got distracted by an upsell pop up, or maybe the shipping fees show up too late and surprises them. So, comparing that to a different product where people drop off earlier, say after viewing the page but not clicking anything, that tells you it's probably a product page issue, not a checkout issue. Maybe the image does not look good or the product is not clearly described. So these details help you make the right fixes in the right places. And here's something else. Sometimes your worst performing products are not actually bad, they're just in the wrong place. Maybe they're buried in a menu no one clicks, or the photos are too dark, or the price is too high compared to similar options. So, with GA4, you can also track internal site searches. If people are searching for a product you already sell, but they're not finding it easily, that's a visibility problem, not a product problem. So, fix the navigation, improve search suggestions, or highlight it on the homepage, and suddenly that product might start performing better. This is how you stop blaming the product and start fixing the environment it lives in. And remember, Our goal is not just to have lots of good products. The goal is to understand which ones create momentum for your brand. Maybe you've got one hero product that brings people in, and then they explore the rest. GA4 helps you track that too. So, for example, you can create a segment of users who landed on your coffee scrub product first, and then see what they did next. Did they buy only that item, or did they end up exploring your skincare routine bundle? Did they subscribe to your email list? Did they come back 3 days, or did they come back 3 days later? These are real customer journeys, and once you see them, you can build better flows. Maybe you feature the coffee scrub in your ad campaign not just because it sells, but because it gets people into the store. That is a gateway product, and those are gold. Now, another thing you can track is the average revenue per product view. This metrics tells you on average how much each product view is earning, and not just in conversions but in value. For example, if product A gets 1,000 views and makes 10,000 rupees, and product B gets 1,000 view but makes 2,000 rupees, you know where to focus your energy, right? Sometimes the product with fewer views can earn more because of higher pricing or better upsells. So do not just chase traffic, chase value per view. This is a metric most people ignore, and it can totally change how you run promotions. Maybe you start giving more visibility to the products with a high revenue per view, even if they are not just your most popular. They can lift your entire store performance and without adding any new traffic. And let's say, not forget refunds and returns here. These are a part of product performance too. If one item has a high return rate, even if it sells well, it might be costing you more than it's worth. In GA4, you can connect refund events to product and analyze patterns. So maybe people return a particular dress because sizing is not clear. Maybe a gadget gets returned often because it's hard to use. These are solvable problems, and fixing them can save you thousands of rupees. You could add a size chart, how to video, a better product demo, all based on what your data is quietly telling you. And if you are a founder or marketer looking to optimize your limited time, here's what I suggest. Look at the top 10 viewed products and analyze them one by one. What's the conversion rate? What's the drop off point? What's the revenue per view? And then look at your top 10 least converting products with high traffic. That's your biggest opportunity area, because those are the pages already getting attention. They just need to convert better. Even a 1% increase in conversion on a high traffic page can mean a huge revenue lift. You do not need to overhaul the whole store just to identify the leaky buckets and patch them one at a time. So this is how you grow without burning out. And one more thing, your best performing products are not just the ones that sells well, they are the ones that lead to repeat customers, referrals, and long-term loyalty. So use GA4 to track when people buy first, and then whether they come back. If your essential oil starter kit is often the first product a repeat customer buys, that's a retention product. So that's something you might want to promote as a part of your welcome journey. Maybe offer a small discount on it for new subscribers, or include it in your referral campaign. These are small moves, but they're based on real data. And finally, let's not forget seasonal shifts. Some products perform better during specific months, festivals, or events. So, GA4 allows you to compare product performance over time. You might find that your winter moisturizer does not convert well in April but crushes in December, right? Or that your gift box sells better around Valentine's Day. If you track this early, you can plan promotions, email campaigns, and add budgets accordingly. So you're not reacting, you're preparing now. And that gives you a huge advantage over your competitors who are still playing catch up. So the best big takeaway from here is this: your best performing products and your worst performing drop off points are the clearest signal of what's working and what needs fixing. So when you know how to read that story through GA4, you stop wasting time on vanity metrics and start focusing on meaningful changes. So you're not just looking at numbers now, you're understanding your business in a real time. And this is what separates guesswork from growth. Now let us expand this even further because identify top for performing products and drop-offs is not just about increasing sales. It's about building a smarter, more resilient store that adapts to what your customers are actually doing. One of the most overlooked techniques in GA4 is using product performance data in combination with user segments. So, for example, let's say your store sells home decor, cushions, lamps, candles, tableware. Instead of just looking at how a product performs overall, you can create segments like mobile users from Delhi, or returning visitors who have purchased in the last 30 days, or even users who added more than 3 items to cart but did not purchase, and then see how each product performs within that slice. You might discover that your glass lantern lamp converts beautifully for returning customers on desktop but struggles on mobile for first time visitors. That might be a hint to improve the mobile image layout or adjust the first line copy. You may also find that your velvet throw pillow does great for users coming from Instagram, but not definitely not so well for people coming from Google search. That tells you the mindset is different. Maybe Instagram shoppers are more impulse driven, and the product photo you used is eye catching enough to get a click. But the product description does not follow through when the user comes in from a search query that's more comparison focused. So you can use this kind of a segmented analysis to tailor the page experience or tweak your content depending on where the traffic is coming from. So the power of GA4 lies in these connections: traffic source plus device plus product behavior. So if we go deeper in this, say you're running a campaign for a new kitchenware line, a premium non-stick pan set. You promote it via Insta Reels, Google search ads, and your mail newsletter. So GA4 can help you compare not just how many people came in through by each channel, but what they did with that product. You might learn that Insta users added the pan to cart at a higher rate, but did not complete the checkout, while email users had fewer visits but a higher purchase rate. That means email buyers were more committed. So maybe next time you promote bundles in email and simpler products on social, and Instagram users dropped off at checkout, maybe they were not ready to buy right then. So you retarget them later with a reminder ad or a time limit offer. GA4 gives you that map, not just who clicked but who continued the journey. Another key thing to watch is bounce rate by product page. Yes, bounce rate still matters even in GA4, though it's now calculated slightly differently. If users are landing on a product page and then leaving without interacting or not scrolling, not clicking, not spending time, that's a signal that something's off. Maybe the page loads too slowly, maybe the first image does not match what they expected from the ad, or maybe the price appears too quickly before they have even seen enough value. So these subtle signals are like micro drop offs, not in the funnel yet, but right at the door. So before someone even views the item fully, they bounce. Track those and fix what you can. Faster load time, better hero image, or a headline that connects emotionally. You might say something like India's most loved copper kadai, now back in stock, rather than just premium copper kadai. That small change might buy you 5 more seconds of attention, and that's often all you need. And let's not forget time based analysis. GA4 lets you look at the product engagement across days of the week and times of the day. Maybe your site gets more traffic on weekends, but conversions happens on Monday morning. That might sound odd, right? But think about it. People often browse casually on Sunday evening, add things to cart, and buy the next morning after payday or once they are back at the desk. If you spot that pattern, you could automate an abandoned cart email for Monday at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., right when they are most likely to act. That's what smart timings looks like. Or maybe you notice that your handmade soy candle sells more during the evening. That could be a great time to run your Insta stories featuring cozy evening vibes and candles lit on a table. Match your marketing energy to the timing of a real customer action. So zoom out. So if I zoom out to product categories right now. Sometimes it's not one product underperforming, it's the entire category. Maybe your eco-friendly kitchen tools section gets views but barely any sales. You might need to check if the category page is clear, if filters are working, or if the products in that section are priced too closely together without stronger differentiation. GA4 allows you to look at category level engagement, and when you notice low activity, do not assume it's a product failure. It might be that the layout is confusing or the page does not give a clear narrative about why these items matter. So try grouping them around a story like sustainable essentials for the Indian home cook and watch the behavior shift. The way you frame things matter. So now, here is something that most people miss, and so I think I also missed it, which is using exit page data to diagnose. And if you sort your pages by exiting the site, not just bouncing but actively leaving, you can spot which product pages might be discouraging or where the journey is ending too clearly. Maybe your organic cotton bedsheet page is the last page 30% of users see. That might mean the page is not inspiring them to go further. You can experiment with exit intent pop ups, more prominent reviews, or showing related products at the bottom. These are not major overhauls, they're nudges that can recover thousands in lost revenue. And remember, in GA4, you can also use path exploration to see what users tend to do after viewing a product. Do they visit another product, return to the homepage, or they go to the FAQ? This helps you understand if your navigation is working or if people are getting stuck in loops. You can also spot unusual behaviors like people going from a product page to your about us section and then leaving. That could mean they were curious about your brand story but did not find enough there to continue. Maybe that is a signal to strengthen your credibility. More customer photos, more press mentions, or founder story details. All of this is discoverable if you're willing to look beyond top line data. Another advanced technique is to track scroll depth on product pages. GA4 lets you create events based on how far down the page someone scrolls. Why does that matter? Because if 80% of users never reach your shipping information or review section, then you know that placing the key details at the bottom might be hurting you. So try moving them up and see what happens. Or if people always scroll halfway but never clicks add to cart, maybe the page gets attention but does not close. That could mean your CTA is not strong or the price appears too soon without building value. Think of it like reading a sales pitch. If the buy now button shows up before you're convinced, you're less likely to act. So pacing matters, even on a product pages. Now, what about tracking actions that leads to higher value purchases? Let's say your store sells gourmet tea and you notice that users who click on the brewing tips video before purchasing tend to spend more per order. That's a gold mine because that means you're educating users, increases cart size. So what do? Make that content more visible, feature it higher on the page, or show it in the cart as a value add. So, like, want to brew like a tea master? Watch this before you check out. These are small behavioral clues that lead to larger revenue shifts. And finally, let's touch on lifetime value. You can tag users based on their first product purchase and then monitor over time whether certain product lead to more loyal customers, maybe more customers who first bought your organic masala box and tend to reorder every month and spend 10,000 a year, while those who start with the one-time gift basket never returns. That means the masala box is your ideal acquisition product. It brings in people who align with your brand. You can prioritize that product in your SEO ads, influencer campaigns, and even partnerships. You're no longer promoting just for profit, you're promoting for retention. So that's a long-term strategy built on data. So to wrap this all up, using GA4 to identify top performing products and drop-offs is not about looking at which product sold the most last week. It's about understanding journeys, friction points, timing, and behavior, what people do when they do it, and what leads them to either walk away or stick around. So if you build the habit of regularly reviewing product performance, not just sales, but engagement, scroll depth, cart behavior, exit points, and follow up actions. You'll start to see your store through the eyes of your customer. And once you can do that, every optimization becomes obvious, intentional, and powerful.